Hey everybody, welcome to another Craftopia tutorial. Today we're going to go over the Millewind Hill tower and we're going to show how to rebuild that tower. Once again, you go up to the console, we're going to repair Wedge tower, and we need paper, so we need 20 of that and 20 of the grease. And I've already built most of the facilities I need. The paper you'll need to build at the workbench. Need some straw and water, so we'll have to get some water cooking on our cooking pot. And there's a couple different ways you can get the buckets of water. You can either retrieve them manually from a lake with an empty bucket, or you can build a well and the well will automatically generate buckets of water. For the grease, you'll need an aging facility. Takes just animal flesh. I've already got some, but I don't have enough, so we're going to go to a location close by to where we can get some more animal flesh. On the back side of this Millewind Hill village, there is like a little farm area. And here you'll find some cows and some sheep, and those will give you the animal flesh. Show it kind of on the map. Zoom in, you can kind of see it's close to the little lake here on the back side of the village. And if you don't get enough on your initial run, these animals will respawn, so you can just kind of stick around in that area and just wait till they respawn. It's usually pretty quick how fast they respawn. And to make it easier, I built a little ramp back up to my base from the village, since I visit the village often while I'm here in this area. Make sure once you get your well that you pick up your water often, so that way you've got it for future times that you need to make water. Also, don't forget to remove the enchantments. Cows and pigs and sheep isn't that great of an enchantment, but you might as well extract the enchantments from the meat. And we'll cover enchantments later on in another video. Alright, we got plenty of water and straw, so we can craft our paper now that we need for the advancement. It's going kind of slow, so I'll fast forward here a little bit. Alright, so we should have all the paper we need. And I've already gathered up the grease I need, so we should have enough to build the first stage of this tower. just construct, and that completes the first stage. And remember, each tower has 3 stages. They progressively require more materials. And you'll run into this with every tower you encounter. Okay, so now we need battery and bioethanol. So for batteries, you need a generator. And then for bioethanol, you need that aging facility again. And to build bioethanol, you need wheat. So that's where those wheat farms come in handy. You build several of those so you can gather it up. I've already gathered some wheat. There's also a place in the starter area where there's already a wheat field there growing that you can get. But here you place the generator. The trick with the generator is you need something to actually run in that big treadmill looking thing, big hamster wheel. I don't have any captured monsters, aka cows, sheep, horses, so I need to build some monster prisms over on the workbench, and then we'll have to go capture some. So we're going to fly back down to that spot where we defeated the cows and the sheep to get the meat, and this time we're going to go capture those cows and sheep and use them for our generator. Now when you're doing this, you just want to damage them, so you probably just want to try to punch them. You need to get them down to the low red meter, but not quite kill them. So right now that cow is in a spot where I can actually capture them with a monster prism. And this goes for all monsters that you can capture in this game. This is kind of where the Pokemon or Pal World element comes into play. Sometimes you have to try multiple times, just like you do in Pal World. You'll need at least 2, maybe 3 captured animals. You could try using an axe. You don't want to use like a high level weapon because you could probably just kill them with a critical hit, and then you'll have to wait for them to respawn. So make sure you use a really low level weapon or just use your hands. I'm gonna go ahead and try to capture all these. Oops, did not mean to kill that one. This time I'll unequip that to finish it off. And they will attack you, so if you're low health, be careful, but they shouldn't do enough damage unless you're really, really low health. Go ahead and get one more since I accidentally unalived that sheep. So now we'll head back up to the generator so we can actually start generating batteries. And with this, what you want to do is you want to equip your captured cow or sheep and aim it right toward the front so that when they spawn out, they'll start running. If you miss, sometimes you'll be able to pick the ball up, and sometimes you won't. So you can see now that the cow is running on the machine, on the generator, it's generating batteries. you also notice the health bar on the cow is going down. Eventually the cow will perish and you will no longer be able to use that, so you'll have to throw another one. Another trick is you can actually throw a monster prism and catch it and redeploy it essentially, and it'll refresh its health. But I just find it's easier just for gathering a few here to just have multiple cows with you. You can see his health's about to run out. He falls out, drops his meat, his leather. Just throw another one so you can continue on. Alright, should have enough of this now, so we should be able to have the 20 batteries and 20 bioethanol we needed, so we can construct the second phase of this tower. Now we need cogwheels, bolts, springs, and ceramic. And there's several different places we've got to go to build those items. So at your workbench is where you can build cogwheels, bolts, and springs. Down toward the bottom of your list at this point. We'll need iron ingots and we'll need copper ingots for this. So going to need to do a little work, probably going to need some more. Ceramic is also built over on our stone furnace. And those ingots are built here. So that's a lot of work for just one stone furnace. We're going to have to build some more stone furnaces. So probably going to do a little changing around here. Alright, I've added a second stone furnace. I've got some ingots going. Also need some clay for the ceramic, so that needs sand and water. I think I've got some sand already somewhere around here. And I built some more cooking pots so I can get more water going while cooking other food items. So we'll get the water going for the clay. Also need charcoal for the ceramic, so I've got charcoal going. It's going to get a little scatterbrained here because there's just so many things that we need to get this, so jumping around to build what we need to build. May have to build another stone furnace just because of so many things that I need at this point. Might build some more workbenches because I'm going to be building multiple things on the workbenches. This is kind of my strategy. That way I can have multiple things going at the same time and not have to wait longer. If you enjoy taking more time, then that's fine. But, you know, I'm a little impatient sometimes. Alright, so we're going to go down here and collect some iron. So close by the village, there is a cave over here next to a sword of recovery. And all scattered around there are little iron ore deposits that you can mine. So make sure you got at least a copper pickaxe. I leave the bottom node. You don't have to. I leave it so it can regenerate. But I will run around here and collect all the iron I need. You can also find a big deposit, a big node. There's maps out there on the internet where you can look up where those are located, but since there's a bunch of little deposits around this area, it should be enough I need to gather. Plus I can kind of explore this area. I haven't explored it, so I'm going to run around and explore this for a while. And I'll cut away from this so you don't have to watch me mine all of this for a while. Okay, so here close by, I wanted to show you this copper deposit. So you can kind of see I'm close to the village. Show it on the map here in relation. Looks like it's, south of the village. And this is so you don't have to run around. If you need copper, because you're going to need copper ingots, you can just sit here and mine all day long and get lots of copper. Use skills to boost your mining ability. So like if you boost your attack, it'll actually do more damage and you'll get more copper out of it. That's one little trick that I use to make this go quicker. You can actually build excavators and drop them on top of it to mine it for you while you go do other things. But at this stage, I'm just going to mine what I need. Okay, so I jump back, got 3 stone furnaces going, got my copper ingots going. I've already built my iron ingots. We're going to go over and build some more workbenches so we can start actually building the bolts and springs and everything that we need. And these are cheap to create, so it's, build as many as you need so you're never having to wait for a workbench to finish. So let's get the bolts started on this workbench. 1 iron, 1 copper ingot for bolts and springs. Spring on this workbench, 20 of those. And then we'll do cogwheels on this workbench. $20 of those. And you can see that's a lot faster that they're working through. I've got my ceramic already built. Instead of having to wait and then start a new one, since I've got 3 workbenches, I can just have them work simultaneously. Alright, we should have all our requirements to build the final stage of this tower. And let's repair this wedge tower. 2020, 2020. Final stage is built. This pulse looking thing is going to shoot out again. And what that does is that will now reveal on the map the materials specific to that region that we need to go up a level. And that's a technology level. And now we can check the age evolution. We see the materials needed: Mandragora, Emerald Hills, Ancient Wood, and Hills Ancient Doll Fragment. And now when you actually check your map, you should be able to see the location of those items so that it makes it a lot easier to go collect them. You don't have to wait till this point, but you can see now they show up on your map. So in the next episode, we'll work on that age evolution. We will show a couple of different ways you can do this rather than having to go out and manually pick up those items. And we'll get you to the next age in this game. Alright, well that's all I've got for this episode. So that showed you how to repair the Wedge Tower here in Millewind Hills. Keep working through this game, keep unlocking towers, keep evolving. We'll keep showing things. If there's something specific that's, you know, kind of where you are in the game and you want me to focus on that, I'll try to get to that. If you got any questions or comments, please drop a comment. If you got any benefit out of this, please consider hitting that like button. And as always, thanks for watching.